Hello everyone and welcome to Sun and Fun 52. I'm Ben Coleman, your anchor host for today. And we have the opportunity at the 52nd, or Red, White, and Blue 52, coming to you from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. And we're here on the campus, and it's a beehive of activity out on the ramp. And we are fortunate enough to be in a nice, cozy little set here, bringing you information about what's going on out in the field. And stay tuned in to us at Florida Aviation Network, because we will have stuff coming for you all over the field, live remotes. It's just a lot of activity. We had the turn at 9 o'clock this morning, and every morning at 9 o'clock, you'll be able to see the Sun and Fun feed with Gene Conrad and Amanda Holling. It's a lot going on here, and we take the opportunity to snag those that have something to contribute, or they're here contributing to aviation, aerospace, and safety. And I can't think anything more important to aviation and aerospace than the weather. And we happen to have somebody here that's working with us to bring information to you about the weather. Say weather.
Ben, such a pleasure to be here.
You as well, Larry.
Thank you so much.
Larry, just getting acquainted and finding out what Say Weather is all about. I could try to do it, but I would butcher it, trust me, because we're live. Everything that you're seeing right now is live. So if we mess up, we're going to push through it. If we don't mess up, it's just like we planned it.
Okay.
We don't plan anything. It's all spur of the moment here. And all of our volunteers, Larry, I didn't think all of our volunteers were coming to help us here.
They've been fantastic, yes.
I mean, people think that it's a professional operation. It's a volunteer operation that operates professionally.
I would second that, absolutely.
Larry, tell us about Say Weather. What's Say Weather all about?
So, back in 2015, 2016, a business colleague and I were taking a look at aviation safety, and through our own study, we determined that about 60 to 70% of general aviation aircraft operate into and out of airports that have no weather at all. At best, maybe a windsock, and
no weather reporting.
No weather reporting. I'm sorry. Yes, be very clear.
You're an engineer, aren't you,
Yes,
Larry?
I am an engineer.
Okay.
So yes, no automated weather reporting. So, and essentially, no way to really check weather before you're at the airport or when you're flying in. So we took a look at that problem and created Say Weather. Essentially, what it is, it's an AWOS equivalent, but it's advisory, and it's much lower cost than an AWOS.
And AWOS is?
Automated Weather Observation System.
Okay. The reason I mentioned that is, believe it or not, and we are so wrapped up in aviation with acronyms and codes and this and that and the other, but there's a place to go and find all of that information. If we say something here on set that just, what does he mean by that? Look it up. It's in the book.
That's
all
right.
I didn't mean to, and no. That camera over there, if you want to drive home, see that camera number 3?
Just drive it home there.
Drive it home there. So do not fly in, there you go. Do not fly into bad weather, unless you're capable and qualified, both pilot and aircraft.
Exactly. And since we're talking about automated weather observation systems, I would ask the question back to an experienced pilot. Have you ever flown into an airport that had an AWOS that you didn't use?
Undoubtedly, yes. Happens all the time.
Okay. Well, the thing is, the availability of that weather, and then of course the FAA requirement that pilots avail themselves to all the information about that airport, it made sense to have a lower cost solution for general aviation. And so that's what Say Weather is all about. We provide the hardware that will produce a standard briefing, which is wind direction and gusts, temperature dew point, altimeter setting, and density altitude. We also can add on visibility with present weather, and present weather would be rain or snow, hail, that sort of thing, and a ceilometer that will do 4 levels of clouds and calculate a ceiling for you.
That's, and you just mentioned a very, very important thing. Checking the weather, and you're required to know if the weather's not that good where you're going, just to let you get prepared for it.
It's situational awareness.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. as being situationally aware so that there is less distraction. I mean, here's a scenario. You're flying into a busy airport that you're not flown into before, it's non-towered, and you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're hunting for a windsock and trying to read it while there's other traffic, perhaps even student traffic in the pattern. SayWeather allows you to get that information 20, 30 miles out by simply keying the mic. You key the mic in your aircraft, and a VHF computer-generated voice comes over the VHF and gives you the advisory. So now, when you're approaching the airport, you're already informed, you already have knowledge on what downwind you're going to select, how you're going to enter, and how you're going to land, and what to expect when landing with those winds. So that's what it's really all about, and it's reducing distraction in the cockpit, being situationally aware and most prepared when you're going to, enter that approach to landing phase, which actually, from FAA safety reports, probably, as you well know, that is the highest accident rate.
And it's this is what drives us here at the Florida Aviation Network is safety, and you're right. And the weather, well, there used to be the 88, 10, and 2. 88% of all accidents are basically operational, or we don't use pilot error. We use it an operational problem. But most of that it's either loss of control of your aircraft or flight into bad weather. And if you're not prepared for it, it can be a very harrowing experience.
Absolutely.
If you're prepared, it should not be, because you will make an alternate, if the weather's not good and you don't feel up to shooting the approach, or if you know you're not capable, or the aircraft, it might make it. No, we don't do that, not in aviation. We go and we land somewhere that's safe until it is safe to get to your destination.
Absolutely.
How many times, Larry, have we heard people, I'm going to get there if it kills me?
Right.
Well, in some cases it does.
It does.
We don't want to do that.
Right, right.
What do you have anything going on with the FAA?
Well, we do, but if you'll allow me, I want to hang on that one point right there that you said about,
Let's go.
And I want to mention SayWeather Online, which is a companion to SayWeather. Our SayWeather systems will transmit their data over the internet to our servers, and then we make that information available via text. That's part of our SayWeather Online companion service that is an optional subscription service that goes with SayWeather. It's fully optional. But to your point about I want to get to that airport and I really need to get there, we have a texting option on our SayWeather Online that allows you to threshold text. That's what we call it. It's conditional threshold. So I can say to SayWeather Online, just with a text me when the winds at Kilo Alpha Bravo Charlie are less than 30. And then you can go off and have lunch or whatever, and then get a text if the winds drop below. And of course, if you don't receive that text, you know that the winds are still in excess of 30. So it's a convenience thing that can alert you to different conditions. That it applies to visibility, it applies to temperature, it applies to any of the variables that are reported by that SayWeather unit.
Larry, I'm always amazed at what we learn about technology, and the big buzzword these days is AI.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything AI related to what your role is?
Well, I can't talk a lot about it right now, but let's just say we have some things in the pipeline I think are going to be pretty exciting.
That sounds like a teaser. So we're going to have to stay on sayweather.com to find out what's coming up.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow. See how we just drove them right into that? just drove it.
Exactly.
But Larry,
so the FAA.
go ahead.
Yeah.
The FAA, go ahead.
Yes. So the FAA has a weather camera program that was actually started in Alaska, and it's accessible by pilots. You can actually go to just Google FAA weather camera program. And they are really excited about pushing that into the lower 48 and having more and more cameras available on the FAA weather cam program down here in the lower 48. So we at Say Weather, part of Say Weather Online that I referred to earlier is also weather cameras that can be associated with your airport and your Say Weather system. Those weather camera images, which we capture once every 6 minutes, go to our servers and then from there to the FAA WeatherCam site. So pilots can actually access the weather cameras for that airport, for that Say Weather airport, through the FAA WeatherCam program. Interestingly, ForeFlight pulls images from the FAA WeatherCam program to make them available on ForeFlight. So, Say Weather weather cameras go to the FAA WeatherCam site, and therefore from there to ForeFlight.
Wow, that's a lot of information.
Yeah.
A lot of information.
And our METARs, the METARs that come from Say Weather Systems, also go to ForeFlight, and several other EFBs.
METARs and TAFs.
Yep. I'm sorry, I should explain what
we can't learn them all,
right?
But however, we can tell them where to go to get this information.
Absolutely.
Aeronautical Information Manual,
yes.
the AIM, is a good place to start. Used to be called the Airman's Information Manual, but that's not completely correct. But it is the Aeronautical Information Manual.
Right.
Go to your AIM, look it up. I mean, you just mentioned Google, FAA weather camera, and we can get to be an overload of information.
Absolutely. Right.
But it's all there for, and you mentioned it several times, situational awareness. Because without that situational presence, you're flying blind. You don't really know what's going on.
Interestingly, back when we did our studies around 10 years ago, we were looking at the null reports, and loss of control, there were a series of contributing factors, and situational awareness was one of those. And obviously weather, another. But yes, it's incredibly important to not be distracted, to be situationally aware, and then prepared to control your aircraft appropriately.
Have you met our Dr. Bartuskas?
I do not believe I've met him.
He's, when we complete this interview, I'm sure we need to get you guys together.
Absolutely.
He's our weather guy.
Okay.
And,
love to meet him.
and he does it so well. His whole life is about weather.
Okay.
And he does a good job. Okay. That's a plug for you, George, Dr. Bartuskas. Okay. But the interesting aspect about being able to have a camera on an airport, and it's just not one camera, is it? Don't they have like quadrants?
We will have up to 4 that actually have overlapping field of view, so you can see 360. Yes, absolutely.
Is that, Larry, is that to scare people from away, or look how beautiful the weather is? Oh, I see a bank of clouds rolling in from the west.
Well, absolutely, it's all about weather. What's really interesting about these cameras, the FAA has some recommendations on how they're established, so that at least 70% of what's in the field of view is above the horizon. They're looking up at the sky, not at people in airplanes on the ground. And it's just captured images, and those images are captured in such a way that you can subsequently turn them into a 1-hour movie to see what the trends of the weather are. And it's, again, all just to inform the pilot and make sure that the pilot is fully aware of what it is they'll be flying into.
Now, if we could just get the people trained to use the system.
There you go.
Because we spend a lot of time and money and effort putting all this together, but it doesn't do any good if you don't use it and you don't learn how to use it.
That's right.
Is there a learning aspect needed for this?
Not really. Anyone that will take the time to go ahead and look at the FAA WeatherCam site, it's pretty straightforward. As far as Say Weather, as I mentioned before, you just key the mic, and that returns the advisory. Then the texting is all very, very simple. We have a simple text, a single text number that you text to, and you can text a question mark to it, and it'll just give you a very, very simple list of instructions on exactly what to do to get the information via text.
Just when you think you know it all. I had no idea that you could actually text to get weather brief.
Yep, absolutely. And it's up to the minute. It's not a once an hour sort of METAR. It's updated every minute.
And you mentioned every 6 minutes.
For the camera images.
For the camera images.
Right.
Okay. And that's breaking an hour down into tenths.
Right, exactly.
See how quick I am with math? And again, Alaska, without that option available to you in Alaska, there's a lot of places that you just wouldn't go, and you don't want to go. I mean,
well, Alaska's a different, as you know, that's different flying up there, altogether different. It's very challenging.
And there's a lot of, we've lost a lot of people in Alaska, and most of it by their own doing. However, anytime it doesn't, just because somebody did something to themselves, we don't hold back in aviation. We constantly try to get the information to the folks in advance.
Right.
And I don't know, all it takes is getting it turned around one time and getting a little bit of vertigo and getting into the low visibility situation. It'll petrify you.
Yep.
And you do it once or twice, you may not get a third time.
You may not get a third try. So, and that's what Say Weather is all about. We really wanted to bring the situational awareness of surface weather to general aviation in a much richer way. And just so many airports out there cannot afford an AWOS, and they can't afford the regular upkeep. But our system is affordable. We, for instance, our Say Weather precision barometric pressure sensor, which provides the altimetry information in the advisory, that is NIST traceable, National Institutes of Standards and Technology traceable calibrated, and we have an optional calibration program to keep those calibrated. Interestingly, in Alaska, our systems are used for IFR Part 135 operations. So that is not approved yet in the lower 48, but for Alaska, Hawaii, and non-contiguous U.S. territories, our systems meet the requirements for passenger carrying IFR ops. So
that makes it trustworthy,
it makes it
official,
trustworthy.
real, and something that you can
yes.
you can take to the bank.
We put AWOS algorithms into our system, so we process everything exactly the same way as an AWOS is processed, and we test our sensors, and when they're shipped, make sure that they're calibrated. At any time, those can be shipped back for calibration if the airport chooses that they would like to do that.
So Larry, to get more information, Say Weather Ultra, if I was to go in and put in my search engine, DuckDuckGo, Say Weather Ultra, what would pop up if I?
Well, so the Ultra, this is our third generation product. The Ultra, we put Ultra on the end. It used to be Say Weather Pro Plus. Say Weather Ultra, we've actually changed from a spinning cup anemometer and wind vane to an ultrasonic based device. So it's no moving parts, and they're heated. We have a couple of versions. We have one that's designed for very, very, very cold environments. We have a system on the North Slope of Alaska, for instance. And then the other ones are pretty much standard for the lower 48. And that ultrasonic anemometer then provides better reliability over the long term because we don't have mechanically moving parts. It's less susceptible to, say, for instance, freezing rain that might lock up a wind vane, et cetera. So the our Ultra system uses that, and we actually have upgraded the central controller in the system. It will connect via the cell phone network all on its own. You don't have to have local internet. But if you do prefer to use the local internet, we have Wi-Fi connectivity and Ethernet connectivity as well. So there are a number of other features that we've added to it.
A multitude of information, almost information overload. But Larry, it was very, very good to learn this, and I will use it.
Great.
I haven't used it, and I openly admit I haven't used it yet.
Okay.
But I will use it, and I will drive as many folks as we can to your program.
Okay.
And it's for all you folks that are participating in the Wings program, look that stuff up.
Right.
And Larry, I'm going to thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And while you're here, why don't you go out and enjoy what's going on?
Absolutely. It's fantastic. Sun and Fun this year is incredible. I think this is the most activity I've seen on the first day in at least the past memory, years of memory.
Well, remember, red, white, and blue, 52.
Got it.
52 years. If you see Gene Conrad walking around, tell him to relax. Everything's fine. And Gene, he's so cool. He's laid back, and it's on autopilot at this point.
Absolutely.
It's out of my hands. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen whether he wants it or not, right? So.
Thank you very much again.
Okay. All right, Ben.
All right,
Thank
Larry,
you.
We're going to cut this one off, and we're going to go to the next interview. Sun and Fun 52, wish you were here. If you're not, stay on.